Hey, so seriously, is vitamin K that essential that if a baby receives it after they're born because it's going to prevent some bleeding issue? Yeah, what's that all about, right? Well, the facts are actually really strong on this. So, yeah, buckle up and I'll go through them with you because there's a lot of misinformation on the internet. Okay, so firstly, it is normal, it is common for babies to be born with low levels of vitamin K. We do not in medical science understand why. We don't know why babies are born with low levels of vitamin K. There's never been a logical reason for it. But what we do know statistically, now research varies from one particular study to another, but in general, we know that about 1 in 500 babies is at risk of a vitamin K deficiency bleed, which would lead on to HDN, hemorrhagic disease of the newborns, which is life-threatening. So what happens is that during the course of the process of being born, there's a lot of pressure on the baby's skull, and it is absolutely common and normal and non-concerning that the baby may rupture a little tiny blood vessel within the brain, and it normally just heals fine. But for that 1 in 500 baby, it doesn't occur, and that baby can get brain damage, which can lead on to death. Does it happen? Yeah, I've had it happen to a client, which is, oh my God, it was just heartbreakingly sad. They were amazing parents to be. They were just fantastic. They were very holistically minded, very naturopathically minded, did lots of research, intelligent, articulate people, and they made the decision that vitamin K was not going to be given to their baby. And unfortunately, theirs was the 1 in 500 baby that needed it. And by then it was too late. Okay, yeah, does happen. Witness that. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay, there's two ways that vitamin K can be given, and that's either oral drops or a one-off injection. The oral drops reduce that 1 in 500 risk to around about 1 in 25,000, and the one-off injection reduces the risk from the 1 in 500 down to 1 in half a million. So the injection is very effective. Okay, it generally takes babies about a month to naturally be manufacturing normal levels of vitamin K within their body. There's lots of talk on the internet that that lactating women could be eating lots of vitamin K rich foods to be able to give baby more vitamin K that way through breastfeeding, through the breast milk. But breast milk is naturally very low in vitamin K, and yeah, great theory, but not very good practically because the damage can already be done. So they have very small meals in those first few days. So a newborn baby, a brand new day one baby would drink probably about 30 mils of breast milk in the first 24 hours. Now, by the time it's a month old, it's drinking about 1 litre a day. But it's, 2 tablespoons is all it's having probably in the first 24 hours. So it's just not going to get, even if you pig out on vitamin K rich food, it's just not going to get the levels that it needs to give it that really good protection. So it is generally not in dispute that giving vitamin K at birth is a wise idea. Just going through those two options. So the vitamin K injection, that's typically done sort of in the first sort of 30 to 60 minutes after a baby is born, typically when the whole baby check is being done. So measuring, the length of the baby and the weight of the baby and checking the rest of its anatomy. So that's typically when that 1/10 of 1 mil of fluid is given as an injection into their thigh. Some babies will let out a little squeak and when it happens, and others don't. I think that babies just have a huge amount of pain relieving endorphins on board at birth, and they really don't sort of notice that injection very much, a lot of them. So that's an ideal time to give it. I think from my experience, giving it the next day or a few hours later, and those babies do squeal a bit more, I think those endorphins have sort of dissipated as such. However, don't think that giving them the oral drops is a kinder way to do it than an injection, because it's exactly the same fluid from the same little ampules. It's not like an oral's nice tasting version, and the vitamin K fluid tastes gross, like I mean super hideously bitter, and that flavor stays in your mouth for freaking ages. And I learned that because when I was a student midwife, an old school midwife made me taste it on my tongue. So, yeah, and I passed on that lesson to many student midwives and student doctors myself. But yeah, so don't do the oral drops if you think that it's kinder, because I don't reckon it is, especially 3 times, because it's the oral drops is given on day 1, week 1, and month 1 old baby, whereas the injection is a one-off. Yeah, so that's kind of the main things around it. And so in general, in summary, I would say I 1000% support giving babies it, and I strongly would advocate for it to be the injection. That's my personal opinion on it. And I respect that not everybody has the same personal opinion. All right. But yeah, that's mine. And so don't hesitate to put up any other comments on here of stuff that you would particularly like me to talk about, because I'm here for you ladies. That's what I want to do, is just help you and pass on some wisdom if I can, and make you just feel a whole lot more confident and comfortable with your decision processes throughout this whole pregnancy journey and birth journey. Okay, wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. Bye everybody.